How are you doing today, listeners? This is Kane Conley, here for music news and anything relating to music. Right now, I will be talking about Peaky Blinders star Cillian Murphy as he unveils his next role as a radio DJ. This, according to Independent News. He will take a break from he will take over during Elbow's Guy Garvey's break, while Elbow is working on a new album. The Inception, Dunkirk, and Peaky Blinders star is 42, and he had pursued a career as a rock musician before moving into acting. Murphy signed up for a series of shows on Six Music. Murphy is an Irish actor, a self-proclaimed music lover, a mixtape obsessor, and a longtime Six Music fan. He said he couldn't be more chuffed to be asked to sit in for Guy on his hiatus. According to Murphy, he says his show has been a constant companion for him and his family on Sunday afternoons for many years, and it would be an honor for him to pick up the tunes in that slot for a while. The fan of the digital-only music station, Six Music, Murphy stated, "Six Music is the best radio station in the world, and that he looks forward to becoming a temporary house guest." Murphy had won millions of fans for his role as Tommy Shelby in a gangster drama Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders is one of my favorite shows ever. Let me say it one more time. Ever. And Paul Rogers, head of the BBC Radio 6 Music digital station, said that he was delighted, that they were delighted for Cillian to be joining the 6 Music station for the next few months. Elbow was considered by Paul Rogers and the Radio 6 Music station, saying that Elbow's music selections are always interesting and that he thinks listeners will love hearing them on 6 Music on Sunday afternoons. Elbow said that he is taking a couple months off to concentrate on the final stages of Elbow's next record. Murphy is a bit too good, according to Garvey. Garvey said he has heard him before and he knows his onions. Garvey said he would obviously have to watch his back, but nowhere near as good looking as me, so I'll win on that front. Murphy has presented one show on 6 Music, including The Sound of Cinema and a program last Christmas featuring his favorite artist and Irish musicians. He began his acting career after turning down a contract with label Acid Jazz. Guy Garvey's Finest Hour first aired in 2007. In other music news, Migos member Takeoff released his album The Last Rocket through Quality Control Music, and it received a 7.7 on Pitchfork.com. Takeoff, within the group of Migos, the trio, considering, is probably one of the most quiet, background-lying members. Anonymous, for lack of a better term. Quavo had said that Takeoff, his nephew, was the superior Migo, but Offset had agreed. Takeoff's solo debut album, The Last Rocket, comes right after the release of Quavo and Huncho's, not Quavo and Huncho, comes after Quavo Huncho, and just ahead of Offset's album next month. His kinfolk are correct. With a tight 12 tracks, Takeoff's record is significantly more economical than Quavo's. And definitely, it's a lot more revealing, more personal, and it reveals more of his personality through a different set of much more intensely rapped songs. Takeoff, however, does have a lack of popular singles. But this album is strong, very strong. I feel like if you were a better lyricist and you were better at explaining and being more personality inclined as to know and let the fans know who you are and be able to connect with you tighter than just saying that these are the 3 people that are there and that you should just listen to them. I feel like I said, between Quavo and Offset sits Takeoff. And it's kind of crazy because in my head, Takeoff is the transition in wordplay to Offset and Quavo. And if you put Quavo before Offset, it's like a transitional. You have Quavo, Takeoff, Offset, So anyways, that was a little tangent. The Last Rocket, I would say, helps put Southern rap into a better perspective. They clarify, they don't necessarily clarify, because I don't think you could, but they have extensive connections to the Southern rap predecessors, such as Gucci Mane or Big Crit or UGK. It's kind of odd because the Migos have always had top songs and they've always been their biggest hits, but The Last Rocket seems to be one of the most compelling and more lyrics-based and introspectively perspected, I guess, for lack of a better term. And it's nice to see that Takeoff is finally stepping out of a shell within the Migos and doing what he does singular, or by himself, or independent. There we go. Takeoff was nervous, though, about first getting on stage. And honestly, for real, okay, so the Migos, technically that's a mask. That's necessarily a front that they put on, like to be able to reveal who they aren't, you know? But The Last Rocket is considered to be the closest thing to Mask Off that the Migos have ever came to, and Takeoff, being the anonymous member he is, makes this album drop almost 3 to 4 times, 5 times, 8 times better. Finally seeing that the mask is coming off and you don't have to listen to the music and conspiracize whatever they're saying. The mask is just coming off. You don't have to wait for them to reveal themselves. You don't have to wait for them to reveal where they came from, who they are, what they do, what they did before. It may, to other people and folks who may not listen to hip hop or rap and don't understand the culture, it may come across as very concealed, coded. I would say coded. And I'm only saying coded because of what, is being talked about, but it's hiding behind that mask. When I say it's hiding behind that mask, it's exactly what I'm saying. The mask is the words that they use, but I'm not going to go any further into that, just so that the standings of where music is and where music's at still sit within the same bounds. Stay tuned for more. There will be plenty more albums, plenty more opportunities made by celebs, and plenty more things created by the community. I should say the culture. I'm Kane Conley, and I'm signing off. See, Takeoff himself, in my opinion, before I even knew that this album was coming out, before I even necessarily delved deeper into who the Migos were, I noticed within their songs that Takeoff pretty much is the glue that bonds the two together. By that I mean Quavo and Offset. You have Quavo with his extensive, overwhelming, overbearing style, which is cool. And you have Offset with his quiet, some would say misshapen demeanor. And Offset is the proprietor of the Migos sound itself, Quavo being who he is.